Brothers and sisters, man, we in it. We back one more time. That's right. The Seditious Coalition. And I get tired of trying to explain to people that just because somebody doesn't say that they work with another group, just because somebody doesn't say they're in lockstep with somebody, doesn't mean that they don't work together. I give you a prime example. I was sitting down today, not today, the other day, and I was reading a very interesting article. And the article was talking about a man who was a DC police officer, right? Who police chief, not just any old cop. And let me see if I can't go to my history real fast and pull that up. But the dude's a cop, top cop at that, top brass, as you would say. And this Joker thought it would be good to aid and abet the Proud Boys. Now, while I typically don't like to get too carried away with things like this, I need for y'all to understand you have people who will tell you that they're trying to control both sides of a narrative. You you can't you can't control anything that you have no power over. So this officer was able for however long to claim under the guise, just like a lot of other individuals did, uh, hey, I was under attack, or they attacked democracy, they threatened democracy, whoop de wop. While all of the truth and the realist, this guy is the reason for um his own pain and suffering. Washington, one second. Washington. There we go. From May 16th, I want to say. Whatever day that this article was produced. But I read it yesterday though. And I'm taking the link and I'm putting it into the shit right now. I'm gonna read it to you so that way you understand what I'm getting at. The Seditious Coalition. Because y'all probably think I'm talking about sellout ass niggas, but I'm not. Right. I'm talking about the suckers that let sellout ass niggas do what they do. So first, that word or that little phrase right there, y'all see it, inciting or causing people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Okay. We're going to see how this Washington police officer did just that. But I need y'all to understand he's a part of the coalition of sedition in what's called the United States of America. He's a part of that. There is a reason why they get to do what they do. Washington police officer charged over allegedly aiding Proud Boys leader. Not just anybody, the leader. The head of an intelligence unit of Washington, D.C. What? Who was it? Was that the peon of the fucking intelligence unit? Was that a rookie police officer? No, this top brass, like I said, might not be the chief, but fuck, they're the head of an intelligence unit. Of the whole unit of Washington, D.C. I need y'all to understand. D.C., Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware. What's the other little ass state up there New Hampshire, right? All those little ass states, right? And all the way down the eastern seaboard, you know, your Carolinas, north and south. Um, who else is right there on the seaboard that I'm forgetting about somebody probably. And it ain't no dishonor. Massachusetts, there we go. It ain't no dishonor if I didn't bring it up and I just didn't bear it to mind. But all those places have special relationships with the FBI, more so than other states here on the West Coast, unless you're like LA unless you're down there in California, or maybe Seattle has some kind of special relationship with the FBI. But the idea of a terroristic threat coming closer to the nation's capital is, they play that out in their heads more than they play out the other things. That being said, let's keep reading. The head of an intelligence unit of the Washington, D.C. Police Department, Police Department faces criminal charges after allegedly warning the leader of the far-right Proud Boys group about an arrest and leaking other law enforcement information. An indictment released on Friday showed. Metropolitan Police Department Lieutenant Shane Lamont gave Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio confidential information about an investigation in the 2020 burning of a Black Lives Matter banner stolen from a church in the U.S. Capitol, and later told him that he faced arrest in the matter, the U.S. Justice Department said. Lamont, who supervised the intelligence branch of the police department's Homeland Security Bureau. I told y'all they're fucking with the feds. I haven't listen. I only read the article the other day, but I'm just letting y'all know. It's not like I don't know. Lamont, who supervised the intelligence branch of the police department's Homeland Security Bureau, also made false and misleading statements to federal enforcement agents about his communications with Tarrio. A federal grand jury indicted Lamont, who was arrested on Friday on 1 count of obstruction and 3 counts of making false statements. He faces a maximum of 30 years in prison. They should be throwing life at this dude. The police department said Lamont, who has worked for the force for 24 years, was placed on administrative leave in February 2022 because of the U.S. investigation. His lawyer, Mark Schemmel, said in a statement that Lamont's job required contact with extremist groups who sought to undermine our democracy on January 6th, yet he does not, nor has he ever supported their views. Schemmel said the evidence at trial would show the allegations were unfairly levied. According to the indictment, Lamont and Tarrio have been in regular contact since 2019. Prosecutors disclosed communications between the two, including a text exchange after the 2020 election in which Democrat Joe Biden defeated then-President Donald Trump. Lamont wrote, "Hey, brother, sad news today. You all planning anything?" "Yep," Tarrio responded. Tarrio pleaded guilty to charges in the Black Lives Matter banner case and in 2021 was sentenced to 5 months in prison. A jury in a separate case this month convicted Tarrio and members of the Proud Boys of seditious conspiracy involving the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol by Trump supporters. Boy, if I don't love patting my own self on the back sometimes. See, the Seditious Coalition, not a seditious coalition. Understand, the Proud Boys are not police officers. They're not even a real paramilitary group if you really look at how they operate. These guys are a political organization. Right. Now you're telling me that an officer who gave a man the 411 in 2020 didn't give him the 411 on certain things for 2021? Right. Are they going to are they really going to check the pings on the phones to see if they made any kind of physical face-to-face meetings? I would hope so, but if they have and they don't want it to look worse than what it already does, they're not going to say shit. They're just going to be like, fuck it. We got the one motherfucker, so we're going to let this shit ride. Because I'm telling you, the U.S. government, look, nigga, my father, rest his soul, told me something. He said, son, it was 1988, 1989, coming into 1990. There we go. 89 coming into 90. He said, son, I was studying to be a computer technician. Had just got to because this is back when being A+ certified and all that stuff was just getting relevant. Boom. He has a computer way back then because, he was in the Army, had a couple dollars saved up, so he bought himself a computer when he got out. Check this out. The man let another person use his computer. One time. This is in the 80s. It's not today's world. This is in the 80s. A man successfully hacked a government account and stole something to the effect of $50,000, right? Now, my father didn't see one red penny of it, never seen the dude after, white dude, right? But the FBI came to come see my father behind that and told my father, after everything was explained, told my father he was not to be in contact with the computer for the next 10 years and that he could not legally purchase a computer for the next 10 years. So as a child growing up, when I would ask my dad, hey, Dad, can we buy a computer? He would always tell us no. It wasn't until I was a grown man that he espoused that to me. Having said that, y'all want me to believe that 40 years after that, right? 30 something years after that, you want me to believe that the FBI couldn't see if these dudes had met up somewhere? That this nigga's in trouble. He's looking at 30 years. He's looking at 30 years, y'all. Listen, he's looking at more time than these Proud Boy dudes are about to get hit with. If they smack the leaders with some, because I don't, they haven't been sentenced. Okay, they haven't been sentenced to how long they're supposed to be down. So when we find out how long your boy Enrique's getting, we gonna know how long this dude's looking at, because he's directly involved. At some level, you have to look at it and say they probably don't even get half that shit that they got done without that kind of help. This dude's the head of an intelligence unit. The Seditious Coalition. These are the type of dudes who I asked y'all, ask yourselves, how many of their ancestors do you think fought in the Civil War? It's a valid question. It's a very valid question. Right. I bet you almost none. I don't know anybody with the last name Lamond. Met this dude on the internet through the paperwork the other day. I've never known anybody with that last name. I always do that. I always say, how many people with the same last name have I ever met? Everybody not like me. I don't expect everybody to be like that. Right. Some of these individuals have last names that they changed and converted. Sedition, inciting or causing people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Were they not trying to overturn the election? Thank you. The Seditious Coalition, not a. And how many people with Russian or just Eurocentric Eastern style last names do you think are in the Proud Boys? Kobylewski. Huh? Huh? How many skis? How many Struvoviches? Sturvovich, Gorvovich, Stovich, whatever the fuck their name is. How many of them you think are Proud Boys? Huh? Thank you. That's the point. That's the point. I'm not supposed to be surprised if Joneses, Johnsons, Browns, Smiths, what's another really good common last name? James. What's another really good common last name? One that we hear enough. I mean, I just named all the really main ones. If I think of something later, I'll bring it up. But that's my point. The names that would sound common to that, you shouldn't be surprised. But those aren't the people that you're going to find, though. You're going to find a bunch of funny last name dudes, funny last name chicks. The Seditious Coalition. And why are they against the state or against the monarch? Easy, because they're not from here. People be wondering why. They're trying to figure out. Once again, these dudes are stupid. White supremacy, white supremacy. How is it white supremacy if it's literally trying to undermine itself? I always ask these questions. Nobody has any fucking answers. How could it be white supremacy if the same so-called white supremacists are undermining themselves? Right. to make it make sense. You can't. You're not going to make it make sense to me. You can confuse yourself into some sort of form of self-deception, but you're not going to deceive I. Not this one. Because I know better. Now let's just talk about some of these sellout ass niggas real quick, right? To make a point. These sellout ass niggas literally are no better than the chicken hawks who are shock jockeys, who are what I call tragedy jockeys, right? Because nobody talks about that. We talk about how people get paid off for other people, but we don't talk about how these dudes literally look forward to tragic things happening so they can benefit and capitalize off of it. They have a sickness. They don't even realize they're sick. I believe, much like this dude who is the head of the intelligence joint, right? A lot of these so-called thought leaders are no different. They probably look, anytime a nigga tells you I went to a top racist house, top shot caller, he let me into the compound, and you lived to tell the tale because you didn't try to kill this nigga, I know who we're dealing with. I know who we're dealing with. I know who we're dealing with. When you will provide security, when you will make people who you were telling are supposed to be empowered by their blackness, you will make them pay for the security of a fucking so-called known super mega white supremacist. And you didn't pay for his demise while you did all that. Right. You're no less seditious. You are no less against the same authority that you think that you stand for. If black people, if Afro-bearded people are a monarchy, I'm talking to minds. I'm talking to minds right now. If Afro-bearded people are a monarchy, you niggas are the seditious ones. You have to be. It's the only logical fucking course of thought. You leave no other options. Right. Because you would be with your enemies. Your true to life enemies, not the ones, not the neighborly enemy, not the brotherly enemy that would have been familial to you. No, individuals who are literally the spoils of your who are the winners and the victors of the spoils of my oppression. Thank you. Right. You think I'm gonna let a billionaire white supremacist out my grips? You don't even have to answer that out loud. But I don't feel like that about them. Right? I don't go white supremacy. I don't go around doing that shit. So, right. I love the Most High God, right? Let somebody speak ill about my God in front of me. Where? I'm gonna take their whole head off. I don't care who you are, nigga. Straight up. You're not gonna talk about my king like that, bro. I'll beat the shit out you. Break your ass all the fuck way up. That being said, though, these niggas will talk sideways and disrespectful about people like me. We'll say because don't nobody watch this nigga, but they've been on my dick for years. Stealing my material for years. Utilizing my mind and my genius for years. And I'm just like sitting here watching like these niggas are no different than the Seditious Coalition. That's proof. This dude had access to federal resources. Dealing with the group that's on the fucking watch list. He's saying that his job is to deal with these people on a regular. That can't be true, bro. That can't be true. That can't be true. That cannot be true. Any real organization is trying to dismantle and break them down. But remember though, when the motherfuckers did that shit over there in Michigan, one of the dudes was a Fed, not just an informant. The dude was an all-out federal agent. Right. The Seditious Coalition. They're working together. And the individuals who claim to speak up for you are working with them more than you'll ever know. Who's giving them the land deeds, the grants? If white supremacy is in control of everything, surely white folks are giving them everything. It can't be any other way, right? I mean, think about this for just half a fucking second. You got a dude who is let me read that again to you out loud so that way niggas don't think I'm tripping. You got a dude who's, one moment. I don't know why it skipped so many pages. Let's go back again. Jesus wept. Okay, that's all I know, y'all. Jesus wept. Because this is crazy. One second. And I got another little article I want to bring up that's totally unrelated, but related to the fact that they're all working together. Bam, there we go. Washington police officer charged over. Boom. Look, I can't make this shit up. The head of an intelligence unit. Skip, 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 skip. Skip, skip. Skip all the way through. The head of an intelligence unit. Keep that in your mind. Who worked on the force for 24 years. We're putting together how I see this. Okay? One moment. And then we're going to go back up to the part where it talks about Homeland Security. Lamont supervised the intelligence branch of the police department's Homeland Security Bureau. He faces a maximum of 30 years in prison. Oh, he getting at least 3. Oh, they're giving him at least 10% of that. The dude worked with somebody that literally could have undid the soul. Look how everything unfolded after that. Look, you think it's a coincidence that Russia nutted up on Ukraine? They let Ukraine with that alligator mouth, okay? Cashing checks with that alligator mouth, that they canary ass, okay? It's not, come on, writing checks that you can't cash, okay? You wrote that check with that mouth, couldn't cash it though. Now they getting their ass tore the fuck up all over Eastern Europe. Happened after the fact. China's talking about, nigga, if Taiwan don't shut the fuck up, we're gonna go see they bitch asses too. This is all happening after the fact. Russia and India, that Rusi henny chinny bye bye, okay? Because they all about to get back together. They all about to hold hands pretty soon. China and India just gotta act like they still enemies. That's all this shit is for the surface. All this shit is for the surface. Right. The balance of power. It's about to be disrupted real soon. Trust, don't take my word for it. Take the environment of the earth for it. While you still aggrandize that America's the greatest, the coldest, the best there ever was, we'll see. We'll see for how much longer. How much longer can they hold that title? The best, the coldest, the greatest there ever was. We're gonna see. Because I guarantee you this, just like all those things took place after that, these seditious coalitions are still in full effect. They have other branches of these coalitions. Some of them operate in the mental aspect of all things. How say so, you say? We're at npr.org, right? And we're not going to read the entire article, but I'm going to read most of it to you. And it's about a teacher who literally, part of She's a part of the Seditious Coalition. Homosexuals are seditious. Every homosexual you've ever met is seditious. Doesn't matter, because they're against the system. They're against authority. Right on? Right. Whether you just want to say the monarch is your village, is your home. We won't even say the state. We'll just say we'll just start with the actual household you come from. Because you can be no less seditious there. Right. But what does this article say? This article says, Florida is investigating a teacher who showed a Disney movie with the gay character. For all intents and purposes, these teachers are the same teachers that go out every year and strike, go out on strikes. Think about that. Every year they stop doing what they're doing and they say, we don't get paid enough to teach your children. Think about it. Every year, at least in one state, in the whole union, at least one state every year in the union, there's a group of teachers every year here in Washington. It's almost always the teachers in Seattle who feel like they're underappreciated and this and this. Now, mind the fact, they claim to not be taken care of enough, right? But then they do shit like this. Let's read. A Florida teacher is Florida is investigating a teacher who showed a Disney movie with the gay character. That's not what it was, though. A Florida teacher is under investigation by the state's Department of Education after she showed her students a Disney movie that features a gay character. Jenna Barbie, how many people with the last name Barbie do y'all know? Barbee, who teaches fifth grade in the Hernando County School District, says a student's mother lodged a complaint with educational officials after Barbie showed the film Strange World in her classroom. Barbie said the movie focuses on humans' relationship to the environment, which is why she chose to show it to her class after a section on ecosystems, plants, and animals. Stop right there. So she's already seen the movie. She knows that the movie has a gay character in it, right? She must. How we know this? She said a subplot about a boy having a crush on another boy never crossed her mind before screening the film. What? Never crossed her mind. So, bitch, that's normal to you? Once again, cuz, this hoe is against everything natural, normal, and good. And fuck niggas will tell you it doesn't matter. We'll call faggot niggas and faggot Negroes and nigrettes. They'll call them our brothers and sisters. That ain't my brother. That ain't my sister. I disown you. I disown you. I don't claim you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Niggas gonna talk shit to me about smoking chronic. But you supporting people who are literally the reason why society's falling down. And how many of those dudes in the Proud Boys you think is gay boys? Y'all know how I feel about these dudes. They all faggots. The higher the level they start to get, the more questionable the activity you can wonder that they're involved in. And it's not because of the money. It's because they're chosen, because they exude certain qualities. They exhibit certain characteristics that are more amicable to the seditious ones. It talks about this is the Barbie in quotes. It talks about love to all things. And that's literally what this movie represents. I find it interesting that now I'm getting in trouble for a similar topic. Ain't that about a bitch? Strange World, a PG-rated Disney movie that got a gay dude in it, who has a crush on another boy and it's rated PG. Let that sink in. features actors Jake Gyllenhaal and Gabrielle Union, among others, and tells the stories of 3 generations of a family exploring a dangerous land beneath their world. Now, this is funny. They want to go to Middle Earth, but they got to make it some faggot shit. You see what I'm saying? They can't keep it normal. Gabrielle Union, we're not surprised she's in a movie with a little faggot. Come on. Karen Jordan, a spokesperson for the Hernando County School District, confirmed to NPR an email that both the district and the state are investigating the matter. She said Hernando County School District sent the note to the parents of the children in the class informing them that their children had been shown the film. Stop right there. Somebody tried to argue with me on the internet the other day because I said that this lady should have got waivers. She should have had all the children sign permission slips, all the parents sign permission slips. That would have totally extricated this issue. But based on their laws, we're going to read, she wouldn't have been all the way out of hot water, but she would have been way less in trouble. Because anybody who would not want their children to see that, they'd say, okay, my child's not going to see it. Right. When I was a youngster in school growing up, virtually every movie, till I got to like a certain age, our parents had to sign up for us to watch that stuff in school because everybody does not let their children watch television. Wow. But fuck that fact, right? While not the main plot of the movie, part of the story involves a male character having and expressing feelings for another male character. The note reads in part, in the future, the movie will not be shown. I wonder why. Fucking Brokeback Mountain for the Disney version. And niggas is talking about that's not seditious. You niggas is crazy. This bitch is trying to break the children. Word. She's trying to fuck their heads up. That's seditious. Look, I don't care about America. I care about my people. My people are the monarchy that I'm worried about. So when you have somebody who isn't around the children, see, I have a son. Unlike these niggas who don't have no babies and just be talking out the sides of their neck, I have a son. Word? Didn't work with me and his mother, but nonetheless, I don't want nobody showing that kind of dumb shit to my son. Period. Hey, why aren't you with him? Because it didn't work. But that would no less change how I would feel about that. Oh, you think I'm gonna get mad for somebody doing right by my son? Fuck out of here. If you do right by him, you're gonna do right. But if you do wrong by him, whether I can see it or not, I don't approve. When asked why the district would no longer show Strange World, Jordan said that there was a school board policy that guides the use of movies in classrooms and that the movie may violate Florida's Parental Bill of Rights, a law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis last year. The law, which critics have dubbed Don't Say Gay, bars classroom instruction related to sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. In April, the Florida Board of Education approved an expansion to of the ban to all grades. I'm skipping the rest of this. Do y'all understand what's going on? You got people who swear on God that they good people. And literally they'll say on God. They promise in the blood of the Lamb they the righteous ones. They'll tell you that we're backwards thinking. It's backwards thinking for me to think that a man and a woman make a baby. That's backwards thinking? Or is it just that these seditious bastards who believe that their confused ideologies are futuristic when they're as old as dirt itself? Homosexuals are not brand new to the earth. So this is not a new wave thing. Right. Right. Crooked, corrupt groups working together to undermine it, to subvert the people is not a brand new thing. Right. So for all y'all who talking about, oh, this is the future. Bitch, this shit is old as fuck. Right. They have no thing good With all these, think about this. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, don't you think it's crazy that they don't use facial recognition in these stores to reward their customers? Me and Andre Wickham were talking about how stores should appreciate their customers. But I was talking to my roommate. I said, don't you think it's weird that they have no positive applications for all this shit that they use in nefarious ways? That's how I know they're really seditious. That's how I know they are against. Fuck the rebel. They're just against the authority. That's it. Right on? The authority of what? The authority of goodness. Right. They don't make it to rain. They don't make the wind to blow to move the pollen more now. That's what moves more pollen. I know y'all like to think that bees do all the work, but the wind does a lot of that work too. Right. Otherwise, how do you explain places that don't have very many bees that are heavily vegetated? Totally mishmash foolery. Are bees important? Of course. Extremely important. But you're not going to tell me that the wind doesn't pollinate. Sorry. Blows a little too hard for me to not think that it doesn't do any of that. Having said that, where's the face rec to where when you go to the store, it looks at your face and it can tell who you are. And it knows how many times you've been here this week, this month, this year. And it tallies up real quick. So let's say, you've only been here 4 times this year, but you spend a good amount of money each one of these times. Good amount being more than $20. Boom. So it's like, okay, he spent this much money per visit. He roughly spends this. We're going to give him a 5% discount. Or if he gets items only worth up to so much, he gets it all for free. Gives you incentive to want to come back. Gives you a reason to want to come back. Right. That's how you treat people. That's how you're supposed to treat them. But they don't do that. Now, what do? They say, we're going to use this shit to catch so-called criminals. And they ain't catching nobody. Most of the people that they're looking for murders are people that are either have a juvenile record or have an actual adult criminal record. Like 97%. I'm gonna say 97% of the people that should be behind bars for murders, not for killings, for murders. Because it's one thing to defend yourself and to kill somebody. It's another thing to even kill them accidentally without a weapon. Just things happen. It's a whole nother thing when in cold blood they have no idea that you're about to do what you're about to do and you take their life. That's called murder. See what I'm saying? That's called murder. Exactly. But they use that for that. But they don't have they can't even catch these dudes. So why not just use it for something good? Right. They don't use any of the things that they could. There are no bikes that are nuclear powered. They don't have a house that's nuclear powered. They should. They should have figured that shit out a long time ago. And for those of you who don't think we should have nuclear power houses, so you think it's okay for them to have nuclear warheads that could totally devastate entire states, cities, countries, but that you shouldn't be able to have a home that, at worst, if it melted down, it would only cause a problem for you? We're not talking, right, once again, it would give people incentives and reasons to become learned, to understand. They have no incentive, they have no reason. Can you blame them? Fuck niggas is lacing weed with fentanyl now. I mean, I don't buy it off the street, so that's not a problem I have to worry about. But seditious. Word? The weed doesn't grow with fentanyl on it, and fentanyl is some shit that they make in the lab. Because they'd rather try to further harm a black man's ability to feed himself. That's what that's about. That's what lacing all the drugs is about. Right. Because chances are, if you a nigga, you getting it either from the Asians or you getting it from the damn Mexicans or somebody from south of the border. Those are the chances. Whether it's the coke, whether it's the weed, whether it's the H, right on, or it's just some pills. A lot of the time, unless you deal with bikers, right? Because bikers are without the bikers, most of the dope that gets into the U.S. wouldn't even be in here because they're able to spread out from all different venture points, and they can carry, once it's across the border, once they have it, they can put as much shit as they can carry on them, take it, distribute it, do what they need to do. The bikers are a major part of all drug cartels. Um, a lot of people don't really know that, but I'm just throwing that out there. So you either fucking with the bikers, the Asians, or the damn south of the border people. Most folks don't have a connect or a plug that's Eastern Europe. You know what I'm saying? Not looking like us. Most of us don't. So um, yeah, when you just look at the whole situation, they're literally trying to like hurt black people's money, black men in particular. Right. Especially little niggas who don't want to get a job. Okay. People ain't gonna keep buying that bad dope. They're not. They're not gonna keep buying it. You're not gonna tell me, oh, my shit. They don't care if your shit is pure and it's not cut with none of that. Pure being, still 65, 70% quality, and it has no additives in it. Right on. It has none of that fentanyl shit in it. We didn't put no baby laxative in it. We didn't press your pills out with meth type of shit. Cause that's what a lot of niggas was doing with the ecstasy pills for a long time. Most of those dudes who says that they was doing them niggas is, unless you had a real life plug and a connect, them niggas is doing drugs. They was doing a lot of pills that was pressed together, and most of those pills was pressed together with meth. So they don't even know they was doing. They don't even know they was. That's why they was geeking for days. They don't know that's why they was geeking for days. I'm trying to give people the game real quick, man. The Seditious Coalition, not the coalition. What is its name? The United States of America. What is its aim and what is its game? To bring the children of Israel to naught through wicked devices, because that's what because the wicked devise wicked devices. Even when the needy man speaketh righteousness. Come on. So I wouldn't know. Well, I would know, but I wouldn't know what it's like to be truly seditious like that. I, like I'm talking about willfully trying to bring my own people down. Willfully. And then these same dudes, like once again, most of the guys that they say are their so-called thought leaders or their so-called people that they listen to get ideas from, them dudes, right? Them are the same niggas that used to give their homeboys money when they was younger to double their money up. These are the same niggas. Word? And now they act like they're above that. They act like they're better than that. Right. These are the same niggas that when there was a drought in the hood, they drive into another state where there is no drought, picking up as much as they can, bringing it back, bringing it to their people, and letting their people distribute while they make all the money. Come on. These are the same niggas. So now that they're in a position of so-called influence over the people, and they don't, their activities have either been obfuscated, extricated, or otherwise eradicated from the public's mind and eye, they're now able to tell the people anything they want to tell them. I'm telling y'all the truth. This is how these motherfuckers work. Same dudes talking about black empowerment be having non-black wives. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Your wife ain't even black. Just because they say they a nigga don't mean they are. Barometer for if you're a black person. Your parents cannot identify as black, but they must be identified as black. Fuck out of here. You know how many people I know out here in Washington who are passing for white, call themselves white? Wish you would call them a nigga. Wish you would call them black. They'd be ready to fight you. Probably would. You ain't gonna fuck their opportunities up. They said, motherfucker, I know my hair is curly. Quit talking about it. Right? I know I got that swarthy complected, not even pink, not brown skin, somewhere in between, looking like they burnt, literally looking burnt. Right. They know who they are. They're not stupid. But you will have them damned if you gonna come here and tell them some. So I know these niggas will be damned if I tell them that their non-black wife is not black, that the half breed is a half breed, or that the quarter breed is a quarter breed, or that the Hispanic thing or the Asian thing you dealing with, right? I got people trying to tell me that God can't tell you or God wouldn't tell you who to love. I know when they say that they've never read the Bible. Never read the first 5 books for sure. You couldn't have. You read everything else but those. You couldn't have read nothing about King Solomon either, because during the reign of King Solomon, at the end of his life, when he falls from the glory, it's explained that he was with women that he was not supposed to be with. It's explained. How they going once again, but God wouldn't tell you who to love. Right. Right. But God says to love your enemies. Did he say love your oppressors? I don't know. Right. You can be my enemy without oppressing me. Right. You can be my enemy without me, you or I having any true value in one another's life. I.e., case in point, 2 men both want the same woman. One man gets her, relocates to another part of the village. The other man gets his own wife still. Every time they see one another, she knows why these two can't stand one, because this dude got her and the other dude didn't. Or maybe vice versa. Maybe the other dude is doing really good now, and she like, damn, I picked the wrong one. Or I got with the wrong one, whatever. Females have been choosing dudes for a long time. It didn't just start. It's 50-50. It's always been 50-50. This is how people commit adultery in the first place. Getting forced into marriages that they should not be in. Or we're going to marry into this family because they got hella money, but I don't love them. Love matters to the Most High God. Word? Right. Right. If it didn't, he wouldn't tell a man, if you have one wife whom you love and another one who you hate, make sure the one that you hate you give children to first. I'm paraphrasing. Right. See, the Most High God is not against his own people. He's not against his own self. So he's not going to say something counterintuitive to you doing what's right for him. He's not going to ask you to do something counterintuitive to what's right for him. He'll test you, but he will never ask you nor force you to commit to something that he knows is against his own will. Just like when people talk about, well, what about what happened with Job? Job was the parent, not the child. Let me make it make sense to you. Job losing his children, as painful as it is, he can have more children. You can't have more parents. Do you understand? The Most High God is so logical. He didn't use an illogical situation. It's not like it was one of Job's children. Then Job died and he brought Job back from the dead. No. Right. People don't even understand that part. People forget that Job only had daughters after that. Shh. This is why, they'll never be able to really fuck with your boy. Seditious ones. I heard a nigga say something crazy the other day. He talked about how great Malcolm X was. And as bad as I wanted to get into that comment section, start trolling a little bit. But see, I don't troll because I have so much class. When I do whatever, I say things. If you don't like what I said, you just don't like it. See, what's the opposite? These niggas be in the comment section sucking dick. Okay? You feel me? They be dick riding in the comment section. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And because you're like, faggot, I say what I want to say. Oh man, you killed that shit. Man, fuck all that. Nigga, tell this nigga the truth. Your two true feelings. Right. Motherfucker gonna say May 19th, because that was his birthday, so-called born day. He said, we the El Shabazz and all that other shit. Listen, man. Listen, he was born Malcolm Little. That's his real name, as far as I'm concerned. Not Malcolm X, not Al Shabazz, Malcolm Little. That's who. Okay? And even he said that the NOI. See, here's how I know. He went from being part of the seditious coalition against black people to being against it. Malcolm X said, not me, that the NOI was a criminal organization of which he helped to cultivate and form. He called it a criminal organization. And he said that they were in the best position to help black people. What year was Malcolm X killed, y'all? Right, we're going on 60 years. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. We're going on 60 years. And you want me to believe? What? The man was murdered because the same ideals you believe he stood for, he realized were wrong. When he went to Mecca and saw blonde-haired, blue-eyed Turks speaking that shit, he knew he fucked up then. Trust me. He knew he fucked up. How we know? How we know he knows he fucked up? Because he probably started to think about all the things he had been saying. Malcolm knew his time was short, but his time was only short because out of the fear of reprisal towards his family. He was part of the Seditious Coalition. Cost him everything. The greatest pacifist to ever live this side of Moses. Because Jesus wasn't no pacifist. The greatest pacifist to ever live this side of Moses. Yes. His name was Martin Luther King. Yes. That man was part of the Seditious Coalition. It was called the Integration Coalition. Perhaps the most seditious of all the coalitions to be against black people. At the end of his reign, he would realize that he had been deceived, duped, hoodwinked, okay? That he was had. I've been hornswoggled, all that shit. Yes, yes. He realized that in the end, not in the beginning. He himself, part of the Seditious Coalition. Still love him. Still my guy. But I know what you did. I know your actions, your words led to more suffering than it did liberation that you sought, that you said you sought while you yet lived. See, the sedition runs high in the black community because all are against the Most High God and his laws. If you are not for his laws, you are seditious. Right. If you encourage people to eat swine, you are seditious. If you encourage people to marry who they want, you are seditious. That's right. If you tell folks to do as the Romans do when in Rome, you are seditious. If you tell the people that all your sins, every last one of them, will just merely be forgiven based on your words, you are seditious. If you do not exalt the Most High God, stand up and praise him, you are seditious. You don't have to like me. You do not have to like me, love me, or even listen to me. It's not like YouTube doesn't already have me in a fucked up algorithm cycle because I don't have ads in the video and I don't do none of that. I don't want none of that. I'm not gonna help them make money. I'm gonna broadcast my motherfucking message from this. I already paid for the internet. Fuck you. He's smoking weed. He's seditious. No, I'm not. Medicating. So I don't go out here and rip nobody's head off. Right. Because unlike some of my people, they have no ire for the Most High God. I have so much of it that they put me, they reap. I was supposed to have, once again, the Seditious Coalition, right? The law enforcement arm in this segment I'm talking about with my life. They thought it would be wise to push me back into mental health court. Aha. They're talking about it's going to take 12 months to 14 months just to get the evaluation done. I've already done an evaluation before. This will be my third evaluation dealing with it. Third. I got one done way back in 2018 when they first ordered that I get one done. I got one done again in at the end of 2019, and then we had to pick it back up at the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic jumped off. And now here we are years later, and they want me to do another one, all because I don't agree with how they're trying to. They're trying to run my case trying to run me into the ground. I shouldn't even have to go to trial based on what they're saying, but they want me to go to trial anyway because they want to see if these white folks, once again, ain't nobody who don't look like me my real peer like that. Unless I deal with you on a daily, you're not my peer. It's that simple. I seen a brother last night. I was at the store buying some beer. And I look at bro, and bro looked at me. Bro was like, "Do I know you?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't think so." Asked him his name. His name was Lewis. But at first looks, if you didn't know Lewis and I were not related, if you did not know, just on first looks, you would have swore we were brothers. First cousins, at least, but possibly brothers. We look that much alike. Complete stranger to me. See, my case hinges on things like that. I need somebody who looks like me, might be a stranger to me, but when I see them, I know that's one of my peers. That's one of my people right there. Right. How hard is that? Why would I want anything different? Think about it. Why would I want anything different? If they find me guilty, so be it. Would I call them seditious? No. Misguided, maybe, if they didn't know all the information, but not seditious. But those that would willfully work against my people, those that have not done for themselves in the lands that they claim to hail from, are seditious. If they don't come here and outright support the people who already live in the land, I don't give a fuck about what they're talking about. I'm talking about the real. If they coming from Ecuador, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Panama, Venezuela, Cuba, huh? They coming from motherfucking Peru, Bolivia, okay, whether they coming from Brazil. I don't give a fuck where you coming from, homie. Word? Your ass better do what everybody else has to do. Just get in line. My people have told the line the longest. We have the least to show for it. Once again, I can't be being seditious to say that my people have owned less than 1%, continue to own less than 1%, and will only ever own less than 1% in this land. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. That's not seditious. That's the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I refuse to beg. I refuse to tell these. We know how much my reparations is. To give me anything less than $1 trillion is not a reparations payment, cuz. Don't give a fuck what you talking about. And the pounds of flesh that come with that. See, they're talking about reparations is money. Reparations is not just money. That's going to be my next real hit piece when I break down what reparations really is. It's white folks giving my people a pound of flesh. Y'all can choose. It can be your least desired to your most loved. We don't care. You pick. You pick. That's how it is. That's all it'll ever be. That's how it is. That's what it is. Believe that. You talking to a all the way well-equipped minded individual. I don't need someone to rescue me from myself. I'm just fine. What I need is for people to realize that we're not going to get anywhere with individuals who are supposed to be helping us that are in lockstep with those that are against us. And just because they say they're for you, sweet nothings. Sweet nothings don't do anything for you, brothers and sisters. All they're trying to do is to get you to spend your money. Question. They say you have to have money to do this shit, right? You have to have resources. You have to have this. You have to have that. Here's the question I have for y'all. Be all the way 100,000 with me. What money did slaves have when they was building this country? When they was making it the greatest thing that the earth has seen since Babylon, since Egypt, since ancient Sumer? Huh? What money did they own? Like I told you, less than 1%. So that's a lie. That we don't need them to give us money as it is. We need our own economy, truly, where no one lends to us ever again. We'd have to drive ourselves into bankruptcy. That's what we have to start with. I need $1 trillion. All my people need $1 trillion. The earth is going to have to bankrupt herself. Once again, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear this, y'all. I'm the least desirable person for them to listen to. Because when they hear me say it, they understand. He's not backing off of that $1 trillion. You can't tell me what my fucking struggle is worth to me. Talking about be realistic. Bitch, be realistic. We'll never get free if that's the case. I'm not in the war room with God. His plans are his business. Don't care. I'm going to do my part right here. You know what my part is? to follow those laws. And it's written here just like this. Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things that are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, to do all the words of this law. Let me read that one more time. The secret things belong to the Lord our God. When he's in that war room with all of his angels, when he's in there with the top angel, aka the Christ, aka the Messiah, aka the Anointed One, it's got nothing to do with us. But the things that are revealed belong to us and to our children forever. What? To do all the words of this law. That is my business. That is what I care about. That I may do all the words of the law and commit it to myself. That's my business. That's my job. That's what I care about. I don't care about what's going on up there. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't care about what's going on down below. It's got nothing to do with me. I care about right here, right now on this earth, following the laws that the Most High God gave the people. Because I'm not seditious. The lost sheep of the house of Israel are not seditious people. They're just lost. The wicked ones, the ones that are estranged from the womb, right? You know, strange world, right? Yeah. Because that's what that little gay boy is. He's estranged from the wicked are estranged from the womb. Homosexuals are wicked. Nothing about them is not wicked. Right. Murderers are wicked. Nothing about them is not wicked. Rapists are wicked. Nothing about them is not wicked. Right. No matter what they do outside of those activities, if they know they're going to go back to being the homosexual that they are, if they know they're going to go back to being the murderer that they are, if they know they're going to go back to being the rapist that they are, right? You see what I'm saying? I won't even talk about the fact that they idol worship. I won't even talk about the fact that they bear false witness. I won't even talk about the fact that they cover their neighbor's wife, his servant, his maid servant, his ass, and all of his land. Huh? I won't talk about the fact that they sow seed to discord among brethren. I won't talk about the fact that they call themselves, that they say that they are a gay pride, right? And guess what? The Most High God hates what? A proud look. Right. Right. We're not going to talk about the fact that they have lying tongues. We ain't going to talk about the fact that they don't honor their mothers or their fathers. Huh? We're not going to talk about none of that. On top of the fact that their natural nature, the true to form being, is seditious, is against the authority of the Most High God. And you wonder why I be feeling some type of way. What is there to talk about with the people? These niggas think they're going to fight their way out. America's a wet paper bag and you niggas still ain't fought your way out. Right. The dough has been rolled too thin. Too fucking thin. I've been saying it for years. For some odd reason, only a few people are. I have people who hit me up who say things where I realized that they didn't realize I had already said that. I've been said that years ago. You just didn't listen, or you just didn't hear me, or maybe you didn't believe me. And now these things that I've already said are coming to play, coming to pass. They're happening before your very eyes, and it's difficult to understand. How could one man say these things and be right? How could he say these things and be right? This nigga's tripping, what they be thinking. And then when the shit pop off, they can't say nothing. What would be funny is that I have dudes who will talk shit to me when I go around. They'll be like, nigga, your channel is little. Yeah. Woo. They talk shit about the size of the channel. They never challenge the veracity of the information. They're not like, nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. Please, bitch. Please. Oh, because I swapped out 1 year for another and one incident for the other. Still the same shit. It's no different. Is it any less the wicked have devised wicked devices? Is it any less that? Huh? No? So what's your point then? Right. When they get done talking, they have no fucking point. These niggas call mental midgets geniuses. Mental midgets. They say white supremacy is sophisticated. And then we'll say at the other side of their neck that these dudes is mayo sandwich, meth smoking monsters. Which is it, Chief? Pick one and stay with it. I just call them wicked. Wickedness entails a whole bunch of things. It's not just one thing. But they want it to be one thing. As I get ready to head out here in a second, I just need y'all to understand this. There's more to lose than there is to gain at this point. We have things to gain, but there's a lot more to lose. You have one soul. This is your crack at salvation right now while we yet live. Once you die, God is just gonna, that's it. Tally up all their actions. And all you can do is hope that your actions outweigh all your foolery. Right. So for all you dudes out there who was like, oh, I hit the mom and the daughter. You know that's punishable by death, by fire, by destruction, right? Which is why I always think that's funny. They're like, what about people who have threesomes? You're supposed to run them off. They're not supposed to be there no more. Right. They're not even supposed to be among you. Right. Uh-huh. They don't talk about that. These dudes who done hit their father's new wife is punishable by death. These dudes who done tapped their stepdaughters, punishable by death. These women who done had sex right with they sons, shit like that, with their nephews, punishable by death. Right. I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down. These are things that they're going to be held to account for when they die. Right. Are they a rapist? That matters. Were they a liar, habitual liar that adversely affected the lives of those around them? That's gonna impact your judgment. When you did thieve, what did you thieve? Did you ever try to return it? Did you ever try to make right? See what I'm saying? Right. The comeuppance will be that which we have brought upon ourselves. Right. I laugh. A lot of these dudes don't realize they going down. Every single time your brothers worked for you, your sisters worked for you, and you held on to that money and you didn't want to pay them, or you wanted to pay them less than what it was worth, right? So you could get the ultimate everything out of it. The Most High God is watching that. He's watching that because he knew what the intent of your heart was. Who cares what the work did? He knows your heart. See what I'm saying? He knows your heart. So you can say, "Oh, I didn't mean for that to happen." He gonna pull up that heart index. What day was that? That was this day at this time. Heart index says that you meant that with all seriousness. That's what we read at them vitals, homeboy. Right. They're gonna have the whole thing ready for you. You're not gonna be able to lie. It's gonna have the whole breakdown. You know, you guys see once again, y'all think these white folk, where do you think they got it from? The Most High God is gonna be reading your every fiber. The judges, the angels, that the Christ, with all the angels around when they're judging. Right. What do you think that's about? What do you think that's about? Thank you. That's what it's about. That's why you can't lie to him. He's gonna be able to read your vitals, everything from those exact moments. All this is being recorded in your own little personal terabyte, or however much information it takes for one life. Length varies, experiences vary, all that stuff. Yep. But y'all playing with the right ones. Y'all are playing with the Most High God. Y'all are acting like he won't do something to you. He did it to my father. My father was winning. Didn't know he was winning, apparently. Smoked some bad dope and took him all the way up out. That just got a brand new apartment, y'all. That just got approved for a bunch of little things, and stuff was about to start going his way. The success literally killed my father. The idea of being uh, not even on top, but on top again in your own mind, it's too much for him, I guess. Killed him. Obviously, the dope killed him, but his decision killed him. But right, the success, it was too much. Too many good things at one time. It's the same thing for black people here. You have so much more than slaves had, and you're able to look past a lot of things that you shouldn't look past. The earth is suffering. Every single time you ignore her calls to you, you're going to be the one held to account. Brothers and sisters, before I leave out, I'm going to finish my little chronic bowl, and I'm going to say this right here. They try so hard to get everybody to act like what they're doing is the right thing. But you and I, we all know most of those people who storm the Capitol are professionals, doctors, lawyers, dentists. Don't no piece of shit, podunk white dude in the middle of rural nowhere got the money to get a plane ticket to go do all that. These are people that work jobs, that got money, that did that kind of shit. Right. Do y'all understand the implications of what I'm getting at? I'm saying that the individuals who you think are half-ass okay, some of your neighbors probably went. All of us, somebody has to know somebody. These weren't made up individuals. Right. The Seditious Coalition. Are you a part of it? Ask yourself that. If you say, what's that? Anything against the laws of Moses. I don't offer up strange incense to my God, so I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I will be just fine. Y'all don't be knowing. I just be thinking. Like I said, they like, oh, I got it this, I got it this. My life is like this, my life is like this. But when we look at that law, when we start talking about that law, when we start talking about the real, you all the way out of fucking whack. You all the way, you nigga, you literally in the fucking wrong. Like where, to be real with you, why would I want to be around you? Right? See, this is why I don't mind doing this from the computer, because this is the closest some people are ever going to get to me. So their filth and their funk, I never have to worry about getting on my persons or even being corrupted and by their essence, and the idea that I'm around them and I see them do something and I say, oh, I should try to do that. Since they believe like I believe, I'm not even influenced by their fucked up ways. See what I'm saying? And because I'm so bullheaded about a lot of things, I really not gonna let you influence me. But I'm just saying, as an example, i.e., uh, I know I'm not supposed to be drinking on the move, right? So when I go certain places and people offer me a drink, I might have one or two drinks, but once I start to feel any sort of the effects, the drink is done. It's over with. It's over with. Because I still have to function. I still have to be able to control myself and handle myself, right on, and manage. Ask yourself that. Are you seditious? You think paying bills and your rent and your insurance makes you not seditious? You think thanking the Most High God with swine juice all over your lips and I'm going to bless the meal, you think that makes you not seditious? You think because you think Saturday, and you can't even prove every Saturday's been a 7-day cycle, you think that every Saturday, you think because you stop to do that every Saturday, you think that makes you not seditious? Huh? Thank you. If you are against the laws of Moses in any way, you are part of the seditious coalition. May the Most High God judge you with the most fervent energy that he has. May his wrath be unkindled, and may your pain in hell be legendary. That being said, for all those who know that they are not seditious, know that they love the Most High God, and would rather die for the laws than let the laws be trampled all over in the sight of anyone. My brothers and my sisters, I salute you. I salute you again. I salute you once more. Like I said, I don't care what's going on up there in the heavens. It's got nothing to do with me. I care about right here, right now, the laws. Like I told my boy Dre, he might have not knew what I was getting at that day when I was saying what I was saying, but I know how the people feel. I know how the people feel. The people are wondering when, why? Why haven't you, Father? He got to reach back out to his people. There's a few reaching out to him, but he gonna have to reach out to those. I can't tell him what to do. And I'm not tempting him to do anything. I'm just saying what has to be done. You're gonna have to show the people that there's hope in reaching out to you. And that the confusion that the Gentiles seek to rot on this earth is simply just that confusion. And that's what makes them seditious. Man, I love y'all. It's been an honor and a blessing. May tomorrow be better than today, and may your next week be better than your last.